In Chicago, you know that all sports rock. The Bears, Hawks, Bulls, Cubs, and Sox. Pick your favorite, you can choose. As long as the Packers lose. For everything you need to know, it's Bill Swerski Sports Talk Chicago. Bill Swerski Sports Talk Chicago.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Bill Swerski Sports Talk Chicago. This is your hosts, Alex and Sean. On this episode, we are going to be talking about the Chicago Bears scoring all the points and the Cubs and the White Sox scoring none of the points. But first, I'd like to thank our sponsor, the Rockford Ice Hogs. If you're not familiar with the Rockford Ice Hogs, they're the AHL minor league affiliate of the Chicago Blackhawks. What does that mean for you? You get to see the stars of tomorrow today at family-friendly, affordable prices. Sure, the season isn't going on right now, but head on over to icehogs.com, get yourself a hat, shirt, jersey, tickets, and more. Tell them Swerski Sports sent you. Alex, my friend, how are you doing?
Well, I'm dry, thank goodness, because the storms arrived and I think by mercy of the Creator spared us from another night of feeble Cubs at bats.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad to be dry. Shout out to our folks in southern Minnesota, or I mean southern Wisconsin, who got real wet and are underwater. We are getting some of that weather as well here in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, this weekend, Saturday night into Sunday, we had crazy ass storms, and I'm sure you did too, this whole area. And then today, I'm glad I got home from work when I did because I mean, it didn't last long, but it was here for a little bit and it was heavy. So, like I said, it rained out the Cubs game. It'll just be double tomorrow. Yay. But I didn't see today's game, obviously, because I was at work, but I just kept checking and got progressively worse and worse and worse. So it's like, yeah, we're doing this again, aren't we? But if you want to talk about some lightning strikes, last night at Soldier Field, there were a few in a meaningless but fun game, right?
Yeah, it was meaningless, I get. And Buffalo didn't play all their starters, I get. But everything that the media and negative Nancy's were telling us to worry about, the Bears came out and said, "What? Me worry? We're good." From the jump. From the jump. Um, you know, you have the very first play, you're like, uh-oh, this isn't gonna looking so good. And then, nope, positive play to Colston Loveland. Then, right after that, a 28-yard strike to Cole Kmet.
That
Oh,
was my favorite moment of the day.
yeah. So all those, oh, you can't have two tight ends and you're gonna trade one. They showed you they're gonna use both tight ends.
Well, and listen, I mean, here's what I liked is, and again, I get it's preseason, but you went out and immediately went to your strength. And when I mean strength, I mean the guys who are literally strong. You used your tight ends, both of them, both of your top two tight ends. I really liked the way they got in the rhythm doing that because, in the past we've seen, okay, here's a run play that goes nowhere. Here's a screen pass to DJ Moore behind the sticks, and you don't really go anywhere. But nope, we're going to utilize our tight ends and we're going to get these strikes out quickly. Caleb made the nice reads, got the ball out. The ball had some zip to it. And the fact that you got to see a first look at Colson Loveland right away. I thought that was really cool to see. Now, another thing that I wanted to mention real quick was on this drive, you had a Drew Dahlman holding penalty, right? That was the only play that went backwards, but
Yeah, and that negated a nice 7-yard run too.
it did. But what's nice is outside of that, you didn't have any other negative plays. You didn't have a blown up screen pass or, a run that gets blown up or, pushed right at the line of scrimmage, and you didn't get sacked either. So it's a big deal if you're a Bears fan because that seems to happen on every opening
Is
drive of every game.
Yeah, you didn't have those negative plays, which was really nice. And before we get too deep in the game, I'd made some notes of what the keys for me for this game were. Um, So going into it, I was like, okay, I know it's preseason and you're going to be playing not all the starters and there's going to be some vanilla coverages and you're not going to run all your offensive tool bag, but there's things I want to see. First was limiting the pre-snap penalties because we saw that a lot against the Dolphins in that first preseason game. We've seen it in practices, uh, trying to start, learn this new offense. You're having some pre-snap penalties. Got to clean that up. Um, Protections. What are the protections going to look like? Are you going to be able to keep Caleb Williams upright? Is Caleb Williams going to look comfortable in this offense? And what is the tackle competition going to look like? Because
That worries me.
yeah. So, uh, when the training camp was opening, it was going to be Karan Amagaji versus Ozzy Trapillo. And then whenever Braxton Jones came back from his injury, he would be in the mix. And Karan Amagaji's hurt again. So he's sort of out of that competition. Um, Ozzy Trapillo's gotten switched back to right tackle. And
Pretty late in
uh,
camp, too.
yeah, so to me, that seems like they're getting him ready to be the swing tackle. But a to some might be a dark horse candidate, but to your good friend Sean, a guy that I've really liked, and I said to watch for him when he was signed as an undrafted rookie last year. I said Theo Benedette is going to get redshirted his first year, but I think he's going to be a dude going forward. And he is in the mix for that starting left tackle spot.
Let the listeners know that Sean in his basement next to his Greedo shrine has a Canadian Eagle Theo Benedette banner with lights all around it.
Uh, I just I had no idea who he was when they signed him as an undrafted rookie. I found some film and I went, "Oh, huh. This guy can play a little bit. He's a stout dude." And I'm like, I like him. And then the Bears did the Bears thing where, oh, he got hurt. So he didn't have to be use up a practice squad spot. But, it going from, Canadian college to the NFL is a huge jump. And I was like, there's no way he's going to be ready to do that first year. I didn't know if it would be second year, but I was pretty sure that dude was going to be a dude. And I didn't know if it was going to be guard or tackle. But they feel he's done like 60% of his reps at guard, 40% at tackle. But I think he can play 4 out of the 5 spots on the offensive line. And um, there's what they're telling me is that Braxton Jones is probably going to win this job by default, but Braxton Jones is not going to be a Bear after this year. And it's going to be Theo Benedette's job to lose, I think. And
Hey, buddy.
should hey buddy, should Braxton Jones get hurt, I think Theo Benedette's going to be first man up to fill that spot.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, listen, if Theo Benedette is that number two, you just pray that he's ready at any time because Braxton Jones is coming off a notable injury.
Yeah, and I think Ozzy Trapillo is going to be fine. Uh, I think the NFL game is a little fast right now, which makes his feet slow. So once he gets, I think my hope is that they're doing to him what the White Sox did to Colston Montgomery, and they're they're giving him the correctional league, instructional league. They're essentially moving him back to the spot he played all of last year, right tackle, to let him get more comfortable and with the game speed, playing on the side that he's accustomed to before and get his game speed back before they try to kick him back to the left hand side. I think that's what they're doing, but Theo Benedette is giving them an opportunity there because Braxton Jones, again, he's looked meh, like not terrible, but not good. And it's exactly who he is. And it's not a knock. He's just I mean, there's not very many people on earth that can be a starting left tackle in the NFL. And he's an average one. And he still has the issue where he doesn't have a strong base, so he gets driven back. Um, but he might be the best option they have. And I hope, I hope when this battle is over, Ben Johnson schemes this to not have that be an ongoing issue all season.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty clear to us. I mean, pretty much flat out saying it, that Ben Johnson thought that this would be a little further along in terms of having the left tackle position figured out. And he's acknowledged that it hasn't come along as quickly as he hoped. I think that there is frustration, but they're not going to let it overtake them. And the nice thing too is that we're getting so much more transparency and honesty from this coaching staff when they speak to the media. They said, listen, we told them that, one day you looked great, the other day you didn't. And this isn't just Braxton Jones or Ozzie Chapillo. They're talking about everybody. They're talking about Darnell Wright and others on that line. And I think if you were to ask me what the biggest concern was about the offense, I still think it is the offensive line because left tackle is a pretty important position. Do I feel better about it this year than last year? Absolutely, when you have Drew Dahlman and Joe Tooney on the line. But still, I mean, the fact that one of your offensive line positions is kind of a black hole right now, I think there's reason for there to be concern, but at least the people in charge, you feel better about them handling it. I mean, again, I remember last year, I can't get it out of my head when they had Karan Amagaji starting against the Vikings on what was that, Thursday Night Football, Sunday night, whatever it was. It was a primetime game. It was in Minnesota. Minnesota was tied for the division lead. They have a great defense, and Karan Amagaji is out there just with absolutely no chance. And I do at least feel like the process is going to be better than when it was last year, although it doesn't guarantee it's still not going to be the weaker point of your offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, every spot on that offensive line, um, it's it's important. But that's the blind spot is the left tackle, the quarterback's blind spot. It's going to be a position that opposing defensive coordinators are going to uh, they're going to try to scheme against to get to Caleb Williams, and we know that Caleb has took what 68 sacks last year.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna try to get to him through that left tackle spot. And they know it's a weak spot and it basically emphasizes it. So you're gonna have to scheme and make it so that it's not a revolving door, which what the last, two coordinators couldn't do is sure, we have a weakness. Can we bridge that gap there and make it, at least serviceable? Uh, Instead, they let it be exploited. I'm hoping that Ben Johnson recognizes that, hey, that's not the strength of that offensive line and goes at the strength and adds somebody in there to chip when he's going to get beat. Um, and things like that.
Yeah, and I mean, it is a little frustrating still that it's like, okay, here we are. You look at the left tackle situation. You have a guy who, when he's healthy, is fine. Like Braxton Jones is all right. He's not great. He's not terrible, but he's coming off a big injury and he's not elite. You drafted a guy who looks more like a swing now with the way they're adjusting him at camp. You have a project and an undrafted free agent. You just wish it was more solidified at that position. you look at the other positions and you at least feel like, okay, there's competency there. Obviously, Joe Tooney's a future Hall of Famer. Drew Dahlman's a solid veteran center. He's not an all-pro, but I think he is, good enough to do the job, at a good, respectable level. But man, you wish you felt a little better about that left tackle position because if you did, I think there'd be a lot less worry coming from some of what we hear at Hallis Hall.
Do
And when
you
I mean
tell?
worry, I mean worry as in like, they're saying, well, we're still trying to figure this out and naturally people get worried. I'm not saying they themselves are worried, but I'm sure they're frustrated and have their concerns and are trying to work on it. But you've heard it over the past week. We're talking about the practices, the goods and the bads. It's not just about Caleb Williams, it's covering pretty much everything. And that's a topic of conversation. A big one is that offensive line in that position.
It's huge, and I really hope that they do figure this out, and whoever it is that wins that job and stays there and is more than serviceable.
Yeah, you
That's
want them to win the job by showing competency, not like, oh, they won the job because they were the least bad.
yeah, I don't want this job to be going fine, fine. Like that, I don't want that. I want it to be, that's the dude. And that's what they're looking for. And like flat out said, they're looking for someone to separate themselves. And it's really hard for Kron Amagaji at this point because he was given the opportunity, but he's got the leg injury. Theo Benedette is taking advantage of that. Ozzy Trapillo got kicked to the other side. I don't know if that's temporary or permanent or what. We are running out of real estate as far as training camp goes. There's one more preseason game, and time to separate yourself. And uh, Braxton Jones is the starter until somebody beats him out.
Hmm.
I mean, flat out. I mean, uh, it's gonna be hard to be like, hey, Joe Tooney, we're gonna kick Theo Benedette, an undrafted Canadian, uh, who's never played in the NFL, game in the NFL, next to you. I think um, that's a tough ask for him. So it's Braxton Jones at least has what 40 starts or whatever he has. Um, that's he's been in the trenches. It's not new to him.
No, it's not.
He's not he's not a superstar by any stretch, but it's not new to him.
Right.
Um, so I just have a feeling that it's going to be Braxton Jones, and I can't fault the Bears too much. I know some people are like, you drafted a tight end in the first round. You could have drafted a left tackle
Yeah, I mean it's
because it's not that easy.
no, no, I know. I'm still happy with the first pick. You just hope that at least by next year you can really feel good about that position, whether it's Ozzy Trapillo, whether it's Theo Benedette, or whether it's somebody else you draft, sign, whatever, trade for. Uh, but right now, I I just think we're gonna have to go in being a little uncomfortable at that position.
Yeah. So let me just say all the people that are like, oh, I can't believe the Bears drafted a tight end when we had a need at left tackle. All right. I'm gonna read to you the draft picks after the Bears. So Bears pick 10, Colston Loveland. The next offensive lineman picked was two picks later, and that was Tyler Booker, who is a guard. He is not a tackle. He is a guard. And I think that was a big overdraft. The next one was Gray Zabel, who is an interior offensive lineman. He's guard center. I love him. I think he's going to be really good, but he's an interior offensive lineman. Donovan Jackson, interior offensive lineman. Then Josh Connerly, who I liked, but he went 29. That's a if the Bears would have drafted a guy that was borderline first late first, early second guy, drafted him at 10, people would be pissed. And then Josh Simmons, who was really good, but he's injured. He was drafted 32nd. He might be redshirted this year. Who knows? So, yeah, like Armand Membo, he went 7. Will Campbell went 4. Like, who are these left tackles that we should have drafted in the first round? You
Yeah,
know,
I mean the board just wasn't there for you. They were either way down or way above.
and I don't even love this class of tackles. Like the guards was good, tackles not so good. Um, you know, even even after those two that went late, like one of them, who knows if he's gonna be ready for this, to be playing this season. So you'd be in the same boat you were in, except overdrafting somebody. And they're like, oh, well, the Bears should have drafted Ariante Ursuri. And okay, well, um, you got Luther Burden instead. I, I'm pretty happy with Luther Burden. I really wanted Travion Henderson though.
Yeah, but they're gonna want a freaking haul.
Yeah, but you got Luther Burden, and Luther Burden looks like a dude. Looks like he's going to be a dude.
Yes, he does. He was very impressive in the game yesterday, and there were a lot of people online who were like, "Yeah, this kid is legit." I'm not talking just like fans. I'm talking like other NFL experts and former players. What's the saying? No block, no rock. Well, he was a part of that.
He was all block, give me the rock. And he's fast and he is tenacious. And I am excited for him to finally get fully brought into this offense because I think he's gonna be a dude.
Yeah, I'm very excited about him. He's lit it up in camp. He's looked so good so far in the preseason. And this was a guy who was hurt and missed a lot of camp. And you heard Ben Johnson give that very brutally honest feedback. It's like, listen, it hurts when you're not able to be here in OTAs and rookie camp and you don't get the reps and you're missing out on some of that experience. But I mean, man, you gotta love what you're seeing so far.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And 3 targets, 3 receptions, 49 yards. Um, and 2 key blocks that score touchdowns.
Yep. No block, no rock.
Um, so my last point of what I was looking for from the Bears in this game was could they be mentally tough? And I think they were. Uh,
Yeah.
Um, I have we've already talked about the concern at left tackle. My other concern is special teams.
Yeah.
Tyler Scott, I don't care that he caught a touchdown pass. That dude sucks. And he does not get an I mean, Valus Jones got it from the jump for being old when he was drafted, and nobody ever let him go. And Tyler Scott has sucked for 3 years and cannot be a special teamer at all. He's just there's no special teams abilities. Uh, and and people give him a pass all the time.
Yeah, I just don't really see a need there. Because remember the first drive of the game? They started well in their own territory.
Yeah, because he bobbled the ball.
Weren't they? They were at least inside the 15. Were they
They were at
inside the
the they were at
10?
they were at the 7
Yeah, yeah.
because it was a 93-yard touchdown drive.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep.
Opening kickoff, and you just botched it. And I don't think he realized that he needed to run it out after he touched it because I think he was going to try to down it. And then he
Can't do
realized
that.
no, I can't do that. And and then started to run it out and got to the 7. Like he's
Well,
just
okay. Yeah. I was just gonna ask you what your opinion was on the new rules. I mean, I know they implemented kind of those before, but now a touchback's at the 35.
you know, it got boring last year because it was just not a lot of like I want to see returns. I'm fine with, wanting to not have people get injured. Uh, having somebody run full steam down the whole field, it's going to cause an injury. But, um, you know, you adjust the rules, but it's less exciting and but you get the injuries down to nothing, no difference statistically from any other play. And so, all right, let's tune it up a little bit and allow for more kick returns. Um, uh, so I'm for it. The one I don't like is you have to tell the other team that you're doing an onside kick. Hate that.
Yeah, that's stupid. What's the point of that? Hey, we're going to be doing this. That I
Hey
don't
guys,
understand that one.
hey guys, we're gonna do an onside kick. Be surprised.
We
I that must have been George that wanted that rule.
need more sportsmanship.
Everyone, no swearing and no, you have to tell the other team that you're going to kick an onside kick.
You also have to write it on a piece of paper in purple crayon.
You have to declare it with your purple crayon.
I just don't get what the point of that rule is.
Uh, let's see. Uh, Justin Fields. Caleb Williams could not have done any more to show us that, he's got command. Went under center. He went from the shotgun. The feet looked much better. The footwork, uh, the plant throw. Um,
Yeah, and the dropbacks, they looked sharp. Of
and Colin Coward found something to be critical about.
course.
You can't coach the gunslinger out of him. Like you were mad when he was a gunslinger. Now you're mad that he's playing within a system. Like why is Colin Coward the way he is?
Well, controversy gets clicks.
Um, you know, like there's gonna be plays when it breaks down and then Justin Field or why am I saying Justin Fields? Caleb Williams does Caleb Williams things and it's and you're gonna be happy. And there's gonna be times that, it's within the confines of how Ben Johnson wants this offense to run, and you're gonna be happy about that too. It's gonna be once this is a well-oiled machine, you're gonna watch when things broke down for the Lions because Jared Goff is not athletic for an NFL player. Uh, yeah, not run either of us, but as far as NFL goes, he's not an athlete and he can't do some of these athlete things. So there's times when, sure, when that offense is rolling, he knows that offense. He's very, uh, you know, Kirk Cousins ish, and in that respect. But Caleb Williams, when a play breaks down, he's gonna do something. He's gonna do something when that play breaks down, and you're gonna be happy about it. You just gotta do it in a controlled setting, not all the time, 40% of the time of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I also wanted to say this too. What I really liked about how Caleb Williams looked was he got the ball out. What's one of the things that we saw last year?
Are you gonna say holding the ball?
Yes.
Yeah, I know people are like, oh, he held the ball too long, and then they'll talk about the time from snap to throw. But it's a little bit misleading if you don't have the watching every play context to put into it. Is every one of those times where he ran backwards and went running, scrambling, and then threw it, that added to that time of how long he had to throw it. Is you also have to put into context, he led the league in free rushers that were coming to him. Like,
Right. I mean, that's obviously a part of the equation, but we did see points where he did legit hold on to the ball too
oh,
long.
absolutely. I just want to put that framework in that when we talk about holding the ball too long, I don't want to hear 5 seconds because that's a misleading stat or the sacks. It is, it is the not, when I say it, it's he's hesitating and he's taking too long for his reads. That's a fact. Um, and we can explain that because he was a rookie with zero structure around him. And how many times did we talk about the wide receivers, even though we have talented wide receivers, the routes they were running they weren't getting open. You weren't scheming people open. They were having to be open because they were better. And uh he's hesitating. Now that offense, he knows that guy's going to be open. And if not, he goes to the next read. Somebody's going to be open and he just boom, hits it. Boom, hits the guy. And without the hesitation and the pausing and the processing speed, it's a lot more fluid. And sure, it's going to be faster uh, with, when you give him some time and he's not having a free rusher, is he's going to be able to hit those timing routes. It's going to look better. And we saw that yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
I 100% agree with you. He needs to get the ball out faster, but it just, there's so many. Not saying it was you, I just wanted to anybody that's
Oh,
listening, it
absolutely.
reads these lazy takes. Uh, it's it's not the time he held the ball. It's it's being in that offense, trusting your receivers, knowing where they're going to be, and trusting your arm and making that throw. That's it's the processing speed. And we saw Jaden Daniels be better with that, but they built an offense around Jaden Daniels.
Hmm.
They didn't make Jaden Daniels fit into an existing offense. They built that offense around him and his skill set. And then they used technology with the VR headset to give him reps that he wouldn't otherwise get in practice. So he just worked through reps. And um they did things around him. Caleb didn't have that. They stuck him in an offense and said, "You're working this offense with no offensive line and no support from an offensive staff." And uh and it didn't, I mean, and you look at those numbers. Those are the numbers. If you would have told me before he took a snap, he would have had the numbers that he had, you would have been happy with those, right?
Hmm.
Um, it's 3,541 yards, 20 touchdowns and 6 interceptions with an 88 quarterback rating. You told me without watching a snap, that was the numbers. You would be happy with that. But people are like, he's a bust because the Bears stunk.
Right.
He's one player and with a bad coach,
And a bad scheme, bad system, bad playbook,
bad offensive line.
bad offensive line.
Yeah. So, I'm not making excuses. There's definitely things that Caleb needed to improve on. And we were seeing those growing pains still during training camp. And you hear Ben Johnson, and when he talks like, we're not at the level we want to be. Don't make sure you read, you understand the context because he believes in Caleb Williams. He wants perfection.
Right.
His the bar for him is 70% completion percentage. Like, do you know how many quarterbacks had a 70% completion percentage last year?
Probably not a lot.
I think it was five.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That's like asking I don't know, somebody to hit 50 plus homers. You can do it. It's possible, but not a lot do it.
yeah, so it's um, you look, let's see, completion percentage. Oh, there's actually a few more. Um, boy, that doesn't count. That was not enough.
I was gonna
Uh,
say you need to be talking about qualified, not like, oh, he
yeah,
started
yeah. I
two
was like, oh,
games.
I was like, oh, Joe Milton did, but he played in like one game. Tua did, 73%. Jared Goff did. Baker Mayfield did. Joe Burrow and Geno Smith. That was it.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, who won the Super Bowl, 68.7. Lamar Jackson, who had one of the best seasons ever at quarterback, 66.7. Patrick Mahomes, everybody's darling, 67.5. Um, dun, 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 where is Bo Nix, 66.3. Sam Darnold, who was everybody's darling, 66.2. Um,
Everybody's darling.
everybody. Um, where was where's Josh Allen on this list? Oh, there he is. 63.6. So Josh Allen, who was MVP, 63.6. He would have been a failure. That's
That's the MVP.
yeah. So Josh Allen was significantly closer to being Justin Fields than he was to Ben Johnson's standard.
Well, he said that the standard is going to be higher and the pressure is going to be higher than ever before.
Yeah. And so, he's going to beat him up, but he would have beat up Josh Allen for those same stats. Would have beat him up, said that he wasn't good enough. And I guarantee you, if he was coaching Josh Allen, he would have, in his mind, he would have been like, this is part of the reason we can't get over the hurdle of beating the Chiefs. We've got to be doing better. And that's just the way his mind works. And it's good. You need that perfection. You need to be a perfectionist to to get the results that you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Andy Reid, Andy Reid may seem mild mannered and give me them chicken nuggies and but he's an animal too. You already know that Bill Belichick was an animal.
In
Like
more ways than one.
like there's a reason that these guys win.
I like to think Andy Reid walks into the locker room just eating like chicky nuggies, and as soon as the door closes, he just like morphs into the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, Big Red.
And yeah, Red Hulk is probably better suited for Andy Reid, but the mustache stays.
I just I love it's but the Incredible Hulk has a big beer belly.
And the
Uh,
glasses. He's got the
uh,
mustache and the glasses and the belly, but he's Red Hulk and he's very, very strong, and you do not want to piss him off.
it's like there's two things you don't mess with. My play calling and my chicken nuggies. You
Somebody took my bowl of M&Ms.
He's like, you run the damn plays that I call and you don't touch my damn chicken nuggies.
Hey, it works, right? Sometimes I
And,
think they take his chicky nuggies, so he'll coach him harder, and that's why you're winning Super Bowls.
uh, but let's see. We didn't see our top two running backs.
Nope, we didn't see Monangai or Swift.
Or Roshan Johnson.
Or well, he's been
Top
hurt.
three. Yeah, he's been, but we didn't see our top three. When who started was Deion Hankins. And I don't know why. I don't know what they see. He had a really bad game last week. Looked a little better this week, but then you look at the stats and you're like, those aren't good. Um,
Now, somebody's got to take the ball in preseason, right?
though, uh is Britton Brown, the new guy they just picked up like last week.
Mm-hmm.
He looked good. Ian
Mm-hmm.
Wheeler looked good.
Ian Wheeler looked good, yes.
Both of those guys look good. why are you giving runs to Deion Hankins? Like, you know, give the rock to those other two guys. Let them let them continue. I mean, uh, Ian Wheeler ran for 80 yards and two touchdowns, and Britton Brown 73 yards and one touchdown. Those are nice runs, and they showed. Ian Wheeler looks strong.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's I'm excited about that. And Britton Brown was a guy that they brought in a few guys that were veterans. Like I think it was a week ago, and they ended up signing him uh to a deal, and there he was in a game and got 16 carries. So, big ups on that.
Did you see that they talked to Jamal Williams or they worked him out?
Yeah, they worked him out the same class as they worked out Britton Brown.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
And they had a 50-50 run pass ratio in that game.
Nice and
50-50.
nice and even.
Let's see. So Caleb Williams looked really good. Tyson Bagent came in and looked really good.
He did. Yeah.
Uh, Um, you know, you're like Case Keenum's got to be a little worried if he thinks he's gonna win a win a job here because he's he's hurt, and Tyson Bagent, I think I honestly think Ben Johnson looks at Tyson Bagent and sees some of himself in there. I really do. Where he's a guy that's got some talent, but he's a try hard guy and really smart. And I think he likes Tyson Bagent a lot. And I don't know what's not to like. He's a hard worker, and he's he's fearless.
Yeah, I just don't think he has the arm to be a starter, but he's very smart. Like, I think Ben Johnson loves a Tyson Bagent type quarterback for the type of offense he has. He is an athletic dude, and I do like the fact that he's able to dissect the reads and the field of play very, very well. Again, I just don't think he has that arm to be a starter. Can't say he can't be a backup.
No, no, and you know what? Look at Mitchell Trubisky. That dude's made like how much money being a backup in this league? Chase Daniel, how much money has he made as a backup? Rex Grossman. There's money to be made. I know you want to play, but there's a lot of money to be had to be a guy that works hard, can learn an offense quick, can step in with minimal reps and give you competent play. And sure, he's not gonna beat you with bombs, but he can throw a 25 yard ball really well, and he can run the vast majority of an offense.
Good old Trubinsky.
Oh, Mitchell Trubinsky. Um, let's see the wideouts. I mean, that wideout play from top to bottom was looked great yesterday. Burden looked good. Samori Torre looked good. Uh, Zacchaeus looked good.
Oh, Zacchaeus, man. That might look like their best signing of the season.
Yeah. Um, Jade Walker looked good. Uh, DJ Moore, like everybody was in on that party and looked good. And I'll throw Komet and Loveland in there because they're essentially playing wide receiver type roles. Both looked good. Um, you can't be mad at that.
No, not at
Um,
all.
and it begs the question against the Dolphins in the joint practice and in the joint practice against Buffalo and in the game against Buffalo, offense works doing things. They struggle against the Bears defense. Is it possible the Bears defense is just really good?
It could be. I am worried though with some of these injuries piling up.
The Terrell Smith one breaks my heart.
Tough. That was, if you want to talk about the absolute worst part of the game, it had to be that injury, right?
Oh, absolutely. Um, I know Austin Booker got a some injury, but he walked off on his own. Um, and I'm hearing that it's nothing to worry about. But that Terrell Smith, I know we haven't heard anything official yet, but when it's non-contact and they cart you off, I think we
Not
all
good.
know and he's holding his knee, that's an ACL. Um, and that's brutal because he was having a really good camp. And
Yeah.
there was a real shot that he could win that other starting outside cornerback spot.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, listen, your secondary right now, Jalen Johnson is hurt and Kyler Gordon is hurt. So you already have some, and you hopefully those two are back for week one, but
Well, Jalen
you,
Johnson's practicing now. Well, he's
yes.
out there, he's running, and they've upgraded that from best case scenario he plays week one to he'll almost assuredly play week one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, I know those guys are coming back, but it's still not something you want to deal with, considering where you are right now with all these other injuries. You said too that the others were not as serious, but the Terrell Smith one, because like he's a legit player, I think. Not a star, but a legit player to have on your team, and losing that just sucks.
He is a guy that if somebody, he had the possibility to win an outside spot. But if he doesn't, he's a guy that can come in on a dime package, or if somebody goes down, or if somebody's just, out of breath, needs a break, like he can just step right in and he's a good player. He's a really good player.
Yes.
Um, so you wonder how they're going to step up and what the health of everybody is. Um, so I'm guessing then that the starting two will be on the outside will be Jalen Johnson and Tyreek Stevenson.
Hmm.
Um, and then probably next up is Nashawn Wright, who was a free agent signing. Um, and then I wonder, uh, Zoff Frazier's finally playing.
Hmm.
So I wonder how he'll look. You still got Josh Blackwell. Um, it'll be interesting to see what six corners they keep, with Terrell Smith most likely being done for the season.
Yeah.
I'm not as confident on the back end with Smith being out. I'm really not.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna have to bring some more people in, right? I mean,
I mean, you've got Trey Flowers, you've got Zoff Frazier, uh, you've got Nick McLeod and Josh Blackwell. Um, I'm just a little nervous. I wonder if they'll wait to see if anybody gets cut and bring them in as depth.
right.
Um, I'm really happy with the linebacking core.
Yeah. I mean, TJ Edwards, you feel good about that. Now, I also feel good about the fact that, okay, if Kyler Gordon's healthy and you're playing nickel and you have TJ Edwards out there, you have really good tacklers. And I think that's one thing that we've kind of prided about the Bears linebackers, especially TJ Edwards. TJ Edwards is a fantastic tackler. He's usually among the top in NFL in tackles, and you do feel good about that going into this year.
I wonder how many linebackers they're going to keep because, Jermaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, keepers. Noah Sewell's been playing out of his mind.
He's on pace to make the team, you would think.
Oh, he's on pace to make you not worry about losing both of your starters. Um, Amen Agbanbamiga is playing really well, and Ruben Hippolyte is playing well. Like,
Hmm.
Um, and and then the defensive line, man, that interior defensive line has been stout, just real stout.
Wrecked havoc last night.
And Austin Booker just continues to look like a dude.
Yeah, and I hope that continues. Because, boy,
Um,
if you get pressure on the quarterback from up the middle, good things will happen.
Austin Booker is making you go, why did we pay all this money to Odengbo when we had Austin Booker here? To uh so it, if Odengbo can be the dude that they paid him to be, uh Montez Sweat is healthy and Austin Booker is the dude that he's been in training camp and preseason, man, they're gonna have they're gonna just absolutely wreck shop on quarterbacks in this division.
Oh, we need it, man. We need constant pressure on the opposing quarterback, especially in these tough matchups, and you got plenty of them.
Yeah. So I'm really happy so far with, I know we're not gonna see this type of ass kicking regularly, but it felt good that the Bears could score 38 points and just really put an ass whooping on a team that is a team that at a level you're trying to get to. Like Buffalo is one of those elite teams.
With
They're
all the
they
puke.
Yeah, they are an elite team and they've got an MVP at quarterback. And that's the echelon that you're looking to be. It's one of those teams that you're you're one of the handful of teams that everybody looks at the preseason going, that's a Super Bowl contender. So you've got the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Eagles. Um, those are those elite teams. You're trying to get to that level. So it's awesome. It's awesome to see that.
Absolutely.
Um, let's see. Then they got one more preseason game. Um, where who do they have next week? Is it da, 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 why am I? Let me look it up.
Chiefs. They're in
Chiefs,
Kansas
that's right.
City.
They're in Kansas City. Um, and I wonder how much the starters will play. I know they will.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they
Yeah.
will. Um, and then because I don't I the Chiefs probably won't play. If their starters play, it'll be for probably
A
less than a
series or two.
quarter. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the Bears want to get that reps in, especially since that game will be, let me look at the calendar here. Um, that game is this Friday, or is it Friday?
Friday
Yeah,
night, I
it's Friday
believe.
night. It's Friday night. So it's the 22nd. And then they don't have their next game until for over
Week
two
one.
weeks.
Yeah.
So you yeah, 22nd, and then they don't have a game till September 8th. So that's 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks and 3 days. So you've got 2.5 weeks to, heal your body and if anybody gets any nicks and dings. Um, so I would expect the Bears to play their starters at least a quarter,
I
if
would
not
hope
longer.
so.
If not longer.
Well, we'll see what the reps look like this week.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Um, anything else Bears you want to talk?
Nope.
So should we talk Cubbies?
Yeah.
So this team is playing poor baseball.
Well, what's the culprit? The culprit is the offense is broken.
The offense is beyond broken. Just that offense can't score runs. And it's really frustrating when Matthew Boyd pitches a gem and then takes the blame for the loss and when the Cubs could not score any runs.
That was disgusting. That was absolutely disgusting. And I was driving home during the final few innings of that game. And guess what? You had second and third with nobody out, with the top of your order, Hap, Tucker, Kelly. They all struck out. They didn't even put the ball in play. And we have seen so much of this where either they are just going down one, two, three on five pitches, or they are just stranding small countries on the base paths. Bases loaded, one out, they won't score. Bases loaded, nobody out, they'll scratch across a run if they're lucky. I mean, it's the fact that all of your best hitters have just completely fallen off a cliff. Completely. But at the center of all this, and this is where we have to talk in depth, it's this Kyle Tucker stuff. Because Kyle Tucker has been beyond terrible for a while now. And you
Hmm.
cannot tell me he's not hurt.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no way, and not I don't think he's injured, but he's hurt. That he's
He's
playing
clearly made a
through.
mechanical tweak to his swing where he can't lift the ball to save his life. He looks like Jason Hayward out there.
Yeah, it is brutal, and uh, you know, the Cubs could use like a 2 week break of just everybody, you know, just putting a pause on it, going nursing any injuries, taking a vacation, coming back. They're desperately in need of it.
Well, and again, it's not just Kyle Tucker. It's all
No.
your big. Seiya Suzuki has been struggling. PCA was like, what, 3 for 40 at one point? And guess what? You gave him a day off, and then after that, he had a three-hit game. I'm not saying that's going to solve all your problems immediately, but finally, after all this today, before the game starts, Jed Hoyer, well, there is a, possibility, big likelihood that the finger injury has contributed to his struggles. Yeah, no shit. And then after an 0-4 today, where it's sad at this point, he's getting booed. They're booing him at Wrigley. Who would have thought that after the first 2 months, a guy who was in the MVP talks is now down to getting booed like 2004 Sammy Sosa because he just can't do anything. So,
Yeah, it's really tough.
and now you're deciding to give him some time off?
I've been I recognize if everybody's just sucking, what tools do you have? But man, I've been not happy with Craig Counsell, to some degree here.
And I'm usually a pro Craig Counsell guy, but I'm going to parrot what other people say is sometimes I think he and this organization is less about the person and more about the numbers on the spreadsheet.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely. Absolutely.
here's Craig Counsell. Well, the analytics say, I don't know, you do this, this, and this. And it's like, okay, I get you're trying to use different strategies and matchups. Okay, but guess what? The guy is slamming his helmet on the ground because he's struggling. And he's clearly not right. Put aside the spreadsheets and the numbers and take a nice sniff and realize that the human being, Kyle Tucker, needs to sit for a few days. IL him or not. It's not always the magic formula that is going to fix everything. But right now, you're not getting anything. And it feels like at this point, you are doing more damage than good of him being out there. So why is he out there? You have this farm system you brag about. You called up Owen Casey to be a bench piece, basically. He didn't get one start over the weekend when you could have given him or a guy like Hap a day to rest. You got Willie Castro for these types of reasons. So, and I'm not usually a big lineup construction guy, but, you know, Michael Bush leading off, I feel like now you need Michael Bush hitting in other spots, and you need to have Nico getting more at bats. The two people hitting on this team are Nico and Matt Shaw. And Ian Happ can draw some walks. That's really what you're getting right now.
Yeah, and you have Shaw batting ninth and Nico batting seventh.
Yeah, so the Cubs. I get not wanting to overreact to every little thing. I understand that, but after a larger sample size, don't you need to try to change things up and not just always look at what the spreadsheet says? That's
No,
all I ask.
yeah, you've gotta go. I hate by feel exclusively or by your gut, but sometimes you got to throw that in there with you've got to have a healthy blend of analytics and just going with your gut or reading the
The gut's
room.
ready to puke.
Yeah, it's um, it's really frustrating.
Yeah. And look, kiss the division goodbye. That's over. I'm not even thinking about that. The Brewers have been on one of the best runs in MLB history, and it's absolutely redonkulous. I don't even know what to say about that at this point. But guess what? You played your first game against them, and they outclassed you by light years once again. You had two damn hits all game. Two damn hits. And you're just waiting for things to get better, and it's just not. And you haven't been through a horrific stretch until now, and guess what? Other teams are. The Mets have been going through it. The Yankees had been going through it. The Dodgers went through it. Other teams have done it. It's magnified by the fact that the Brewers just, with their squeegee boards and whatever witchcraft they're brewing up there, just not losing. But it's frustrating because we knew that there were going to be ebbs and flows with this team. You weren't going to be the juggernaut you were forever, but I mean, it's this boomer bust. It's like it's gone to complete bust. That series against the Pirates, you had to fight tooth and nail just to beat them 2 out of 3 at home. And I get it, any given day, baseball's baseball. I think we'd be feeling a lot different about Friday's game if the Cubs were playing really, really well and you just lost that game because, okay, that happens. But the fact that you've been struggling so badly lately, and the fact that in that game you had bases loaded, nobody out, and you could only make one run out of it, and eventually you lost the game 3-2, and then you had to fight tooth and nail to get the other two, it makes it feel a lot worse. If you won 10 out of 11 and you were scoring runs and you just lost that game, you forget about it immediately after the final out and you wouldn't care. But this is a different situation right now. And I don't want to be full on panic, but these slumps have been going on a while. There's a slump and there's a slump. And we've seen a lot of slumps.
Their Cubs have 38 games left, and they're still in the wild card lead, but that lead is evaporating pretty rapidly. Um, you know, so really, barring something crazy happening, Cincinnati's the only one that has a shot of making the postseason. Outside looking in. So
Yes,
you've
yes.
got to win these division games. You got to.
Yeah, there's absolutely zero question about it. Now, the only thing you have right now that I can say is okay, it's not the only positive thing, but just schedule wise is after this Brewers series, on paper, the schedule is pretty manageable. But if you're not hitting, then it's not going to make as big of a difference. You're going to have to beat the teams you're going to have to beat. Yes, you won 2 out of 3 against the Pirates, and that's
Barely.
at what you had to do minimum, but essentially you had to scratch and claw your way to get those.
The Cubs' probability to win the division is now down to 4%.
Hey, it's not happening. It's
That
not
I,
happening. You had to sweep 5 games to have a chance.
yeah, they went from like 40 something percent to 4%. I mean, their chances of making the playoffs are still extremely high,
Yes.
but you know, doesn't matter if you can't score any runs. And all of this, not saying it's coincidence, but Jed signs an extension and the wheels fall off.
The timing is pretty remarkable. The funny thing is, though, so far, and this can change, but you've seen them pitch pretty well. And a lot of, you mentioned Matthew Boyd's start. Colin Ray looked good the other day. That was for naught. Your pitching did a great job against a really good team in Toronto on the road. And you lost 2 of 3. It's really, really frustrating. And the other thing, too, is Cade Horton has been a beast. He has been a marvel. And it's not like, oh, fluky good, he's getting all the right bounces. Like, he's dominant. Figures today he leaves with a blister. It doesn't sound serious, but it's still just another one of those really type moments.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
And then you're getting Tyone back, so that adds a little more depth to the pitching. Shota's pitched some good games, and barring any more injuries, you're going to ride with the pitching staff that you have. But if you're not going to hit, what's the point? It's got to wake up eventually, right?
You hope so?
Better?
You just hope so. Like I don't know what you do. You bring Owen Casey up, um, and then first you don't let him play. What's the point of bringing him up if you're not playing? But uh, what do you expect him to give you? You know, it's his first major league experience.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it came really gut-wrenching and sad with Miguel Amaya. Months of rehab coming back, first game, he's going all out to try to help his team win, and he has the ankle sprain. It could have been a hell lot worse, but still, it was hard to see.
Right. I'm just this season in some ways has just been really frustrating. Like there's so many good things when it was time for the trade deadline and we were like, you know what? They need if they really want to go big and take advantage of having Kyle Tucker, um, you've got to go big and they didn't. They didn't go big at trade deadline. They didn't want to trade assets and I get it, but um I don't know if you heard Brad Biggs take a shot at Jed Hoyer this morning. I can't wait for you to have Jed Hoyer on next segment to tell us what he how excited is he about 2032. Um, you know,
Oof.
it's
Oof.
it's true. You have to be able to balance the future with the now, and the Dodgers have done a great job of that, and makes makes it a lot easier when you can throw money at problems. But the Cubs should be able to throw money at the problems almost as well as the Dodgers.
I mean, and the thing is, regardless of what happened at the deadline, you're not winning because the guys on your team are not hitting. Like, that is the ultimate reason right now, right?
Oh, right. Yeah. Guys aren't hitting. You needed a bat. You needed a bat at the trade deadline.
Even if you didn't get a bat, if Kyle Tucker was hitting and Seiya Suzuki was hitting and PCA was hitting, you'd be winning. They're just
Yeah,
not.
they're not. I mean, if you look at the numbers, like all of them have well over 800 OPS. You're like, okay, I'm good with that number, but it it's a significant drop from where it was, where they were well over 900.
Right,
Um,
right. Go a month or two ago.
yeah, it's so aggregated. You're like, yeah, that looks good, but if you look at it in bite-sized pieces, um, they, uh, you're not playing well. And how many years have we seen Cubs bats all go cold at the same time?
Seems like it happens all the time.
Yeah, it's unreal. Like everybody goes into slumps. It's 162 game season.
Right.
You go into a slump. It just happens. But the Cubs consistently, year in, year out, have it where all of their players go in a slump at the same time. And we talked before, okay, well, it's roster construction. You know, like you have too many all or nothing guys where it's too relying on home runs. Oh, then we don't have enough home run hitters now. Um, it, it's I don't know what the answer is. They'll probably fire their hitting coach again this year.
How many times have we done that?
It's like you know, I think like every year, every other year. Um, so I don't know what the answer is right now. I don't know what the answer is right now. They're going to make the playoffs most likely, but they are going to hobble into it. And it sucks because they are so close to being real contenders.
Yeah. It's it's like you said, when you have all the slumps happening at once, that's when we call the offense is broken.
Yeah. There was a time this season when you went, man, the Cubs are going to be a problem for everybody. And that time has gone.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, I'm sure the offense will get better before the end of the season, but not to the level it was.
I mean,
Here's to hoping that the Brewers go into a slump like the Cubs are in.
I don't think fate just seems to be on their side right now.
Oh, it's wild, right?
I mean, that last win in Cincinnati, guy misjudges the fly ball, run scores. Routine double play ball to end the game. Ellie De La Cruz throws it past the first baseman. They tie it. Go ahead run. Guy hits it, with the Manfred man. It's a ground ball through the hole. Jack Freely completely botches it, and they score. It's like, really? I'm not saying they're not a good team. I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but man, it's like they get every break.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, those breaks won't happen come postseason. I mean, maybe here or there, but there, it's not it's not going to be the same because every team is going to play tighter baseball. Um, but it just that team is just playing out of their mind, and they've got voodoo magic, and somebody's been a hero every day. It's frustrating.
Yes, it is.
Um, should we talk a little White Sox?
Sure.
Uh, so the White Sox, man, they're playing some bad baseball again. Um, and it's funny because I wanted to talk about how their offense has absolutely stunk for the last 2 weeks as well. And then today they come out with an offensive explosion, score 7 runs in the first 4 innings. Uh, but really, this team is offensively not playing well, and they were relying on a couple of guys to just drag them out of a offensive slump. and those guys are in their own slump. Um, and the White Sox, man, they're just not scoring runs.
No, and some of your rookies are kind of going through their adjustment periods, and that's going to happen. And nothing ever good happens to them in Kansas City.
No. So they get swept in Kansas City, and in 3 games, they score 5 runs total. Not, I mean, they didn't, that first game, they gave up 3 runs. Like, it wasn't a bad outing, and they just couldn't score any runs. The game before, Tigers, they lose 1-0. And sure, then they score the outburst of 9 runs. This team's like an all or nothing run scored. Then they lose 2-1 to the Tigers, lose 2 out of 3 to the Guardians, lose 2 out of 3 to the Mariners. Um, they haven't won a series since the Angels at the beginning of the month. Uh, but then, the runs aren't coming. And, Luis Robert was hitting well for a hot second. And, Gary's gonna be mad. He's like, why can't talk about uh Luis Robert? Because Luis Robert is the highest paid guy on this team. I'm sorry, he's second highest paid guy on this team. Um,
Benintendi's higher, right?
Benintendi's the highest, but that dude is sucked hard. He was playing he was playing fine. He was playing like league average hitter baseball, which for the money he's making is no bueno. But um, right now his his slugging is 404. His on base is 289. Like he's a under 700 OPS. That's not good. Um, Vargas is a just over 700 OPS.
Vargas is very up and down. He shows these stretches of being really, really good and then stretches of being not good.
Yeah. Um, Talkman is still playing well, but uh, he's your leadoff guy, and you got Lenyn Sosa batting behind him. And I know he had a hot moment, but
He was hitting some
um,
homers.
he hit one today. Uh, but he's down, to sub 750 OPS. Montgomery, who was your all everything, and I'm not going to shit on him because he's essentially a rookie. Um, your his OPS has dropped significantly. Um, so like who are you counting on? Chase Mydroth is now batting eighth. Uh, Kyle Teal is barely over 700 OPS, and these are guys that I'm not worried about them. It's just again, you don't have, unlike the Cubs who have a bunch of high paid veterans who should be hitting. The White Sox have young players who are struggling, and they don't have
Hmm.
anybody to pull them out of that. The 2 guys that should be pulling them out of that are Benintendi and Luis Robert, and they're not because they're not playing well either. Like
Yeah.
Luis Robert is a 650 OPS. That's not good.
No, that's not good at all.
No, he's supposed to be a home run guy. His slugging is 353. He's batting
Yeah.
219. That was after a tear.
It's better than it was before, so
Oh yeah, but it's not good enough for
no, of course not.
your cleanup hitter is got a 353 slugging percentage.
Yeah, right. That's
Like
no.
that's not even good roster construction there.
No.
That's you don't put the batting order with, hey, let's get a guy that's just not hitting for power and put him in as our cleanup guy. And I don't know who your cleanup guy is. Um, you know, is it Colston Montgomery?
Give it a shot. I mean, now's your
He,
time to try things.
he's got your highest slugging. Like, where else do you go? You just like that's a big problem the White Sox have is they don't have a bopper. And I know you got to pay for a bopper, and the White Sox aren't paying anybody, but you need home runs. Um, it helps everything.
Yes, it
You know,
does. Ball go far, team go far.
yes, and I know you you can't be a team that lives and dies by the home run because you you with the wind blowing in, suddenly makes you go into a run drought. You got to be able to manufacture, but if you can't hit home runs, it gets tough. I mean, ball go far, team go far. Look at the Phillies.
Yeah, I mean it's you have to have balance and everything there, and it's when your home run hitters are not hitting home runs makes it harder to win.
Yeah. Um, ball go far, team go far. Look at Seattle. So um, it's just the nature of the beast.
Yep,
Let's see who else are the home run leaders in baseball. Um,
the big dumper.
the big dumper. What a terrible nickname. Yeah, Shohei, ball go far, team go far. Kyle Schwarber. The only one, Aaron Judge.
Yeah,
Aaron Judge and the Yankees, not so good, but
they won the
um,
pennant last year.
true. Uh, Juan Soto and the Mets
They had
playing
a run.
well.
Oh, I mean Juan Soto wasn't there last year, but they hit. I mean, you
Oh, I'm
have
talking this year. Yeah,
fair
this
enough.
year, I mean, uh, Juan Soto and Pete Alonso have combined 58 home runs.
Uh-huh.
Um, you know, for a while, PCA and Seiya were like in like the top 5 or 6 in home runs, and now they're down to 11th because they're not hitting. People are passing them up. Um, Stupid Christian Yelich has 25 home runs.
Yeah, I know.
I hate stupid Christian Yelich.
Just when you think he's on the downswing, poof, he's back.
Stupid Christian Yelich. Yeah. So I mean, the White Sox is just they're they're not a good baseball team. I mean, significantly better than they were last year, but that's really not saying a lot. It's last year they were abysmal, and um, this year they're just bad.
Yeah. At least it's not historically bad, and you have some promise there.
Um, is Colorado still on pace?
They've improved a little bit. They've been playing better.
I know they have. Yeah, they're not on pace to beat the record anymore.
They
They were on
were for
pace
a
to
while.
they were on pace to like stomp the record.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know.
yeah, no, they're not that. I mean, they're not good, but they're uh
I mean, losing like
they're
130
they're on a
games and it's
they're on a 3-game winning streak, and they're 5-5 in their last 10. That's better than the
yeah.
Cubs.
Yeah. I mean, look, losing like 130 games is not sustainable at any professional level. It's just
No,
not.
the White Sox. The White Sox are 44-80, and they're
It's three
nine
more
game.
wins than last year, right?
They're 9 games better than the Rockies.
Yeah.
That is crazy that they're 9 games better. And the White Sox are 28.5 games out of first place in the division.
That's all.
Anybody worse than that? Uh, Rockies are 36 games
I
out.
was gonna say they have to be way out.
They're 36 games out of first place.
How far back are
Pitts,
the
Pitt,
Nationals?
21.
Okay.
The Pittsburgh's 27 and a half.
Yeah.
But that's inflated because the Brewers are.
Yeah. They can make Andrew Vaughn great and Jose Quintana.
Oh my God. So frustrating.
Oogity boogity spoogity, they say up there around their cauldron of witch's brew. They stole a Marty Havlat crock pot for it. Ha, la, 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 la.
Uh, they're like, we brought in Nick Madrigal, and now got an OPS of 1.2.
If that happened, I would stop watching baseball. I'd be like, no, I'm not. There's not a chance in hell I'm watching
Our
this
second
sport.
baseman got hurt, so we brought in Nicky Madrigal, and he is crushing it. In the last month of the season, he is leading the Major League Baseball in home runs.
Yeah, no, I would never ever watch baseball again.
Oh man,
It's just not happening.
so frustrating.
Hmm.
Um, what else do we got? I know we should probably talk about the Blackhawks lawsuit, but honestly, I don't know enough about it.
I don't either. It's a disgruntled employee.
Discrimination and wrongful termination. I don't know. It's Mark Lazarus and Scott Powers reporting, and I don't know all of the backstory behind it. And um, I want to wait until some more things come out
Yeah, it's just it
before.
never ends.
I know. Man, I just if this comes to be a truth, I wonder if the league will make the Blackhawk or the Wirtz family sell this team.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Nutty. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Nope, I've said my piece.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of Bill Swerski Sports Talk Chicago. I want to thank everybody so much for listening. Please hit subscribe however you listen to podcasts, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Google Play, Spotify, etc. Share this podcast with your friends. It's how we grow the show. Follow us on social media at Swerski Sports, Facebook.com/Swerski Sports, SwerskiSports.com, or Swerski_sports_podcast on Instagram, or ShyFanPat2 for Alex on Twitter/X, or AlexanderJPatCreative.com for all the cool stuff that Alex does. And again, thank you all so much for listening. And until next time, bear down.
Cubs win! What a lucky break! The good Lord wants the Cubs to win!
We thank Ditka and God for all they have provided.
Cubs win! Cubs win! Cubs win!
Oh, I don't want her. You can have her. She's a Packer fan. She can't fit in my van.
And she looks like Remember, New Yorkers, smoking crack is not legal on the plains.
Bears 31 to -7.
The Bears.
Oh, when the Bears go bearing down.